When the Nokia 7.2 was first announced in late 2019, it received little to no fanfare. A lot of people actually dismissed this phone because it came out with what was perceived as an outdated processor, the Snapdragon 660, despite it having reasonably decent specs elsewhere. So, how has this phone held up since then? Is it still worth picking this phone up over newer devices from lower segments such as the 5.3 and 5.4? Let's find out. If you're enjoying my content, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It just helps the channel grow and you'll see more content from me. So let's start with the hardware. Despite the thicker than modern bezels on the front and water drop notch, the rest of the design still holds up. The phone still feels very solid in the hand, and the classic color options, green included, still looks good. So does the frosted matte back finish. I don't think the same can be said about some of those crazy gradient colors some other phones are coming with. I also haven't had any hardware issues to speak of. The fingerprint scanner is still decently quick, and the buttons still feel very clicky. Other than the bezels, the display also still holds up nicely. So, it's a 1080p LCD display that measures at 6.3 inches. It won't blow you away by any standards, but it's a good display. I've had Pure Display, which adds HDR to videos, glitch out on me a couple of times, but other than that, everything works as you'd expect. If you're expecting me to tell you the ancient Snapdragon 660 is letting this phone's performance down, I'm gonna disappoint you. This phone's performance is almost flawless. It's still quick opening apps and runs smoothly most of the time. Sadly, where this chipset shows its age is when it comes to power consumption. You see, the combination of a 3500 mAh battery and a fairly old processor means that this phone won't last you more than a day of usage. This, for me, is the biggest flaw of the Nokia 7.2. It consumes too much power while in standby, especially compared to newer devices like the 5.3 and the 5.4. The phone initially launched with Android 9, and now it's currently running on Android 10 and expected to receive Android 11 sometime in the future. The phone also has received numerous bug fixes throughout its lifecycle, and that's one of the benefits of having an Android One device. The other benefit is lack of bloatware and a clean user interface. Built-in features though are what competitors still have over the Nokia 7.2. Stuff like one-handed mode, more customization, and the biggest omission for me is swiping down from anywhere to bring down the notification bar. Something that has been added with newer Nokia devices but isn't present on this one. You can still use the fingerprint scanner for that, but it's not as convenient. The biggest issue with the Nokia 7.2 software has been its reliability. Even though they keep releasing bug fixing updates, almost every update that they've added introduced a couple of annoying bugs, and this just causes a very frustrating experience. I think out of every modern Nokia device I've used, I haven't had as many issues as I've had with the 7.2, sadly. As for the cameras, they really start showing their age, specifically in low light situations. Daylight images are still decent from the main 48 megapixel camera, and even the 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera is acceptable, I would say. But using night mode shows you how far we've come on newer devices like the 5.4, where the 7.2 struggles to capture enough light, and the images are noisy and just plain bad. Luckily, you can always install Gcam, which improves things immensely. I would rely on it for all situations, to be honest. Video quality also struggles a bit. There is no stabilization at 4K 30 frames per second, even though electronic stabilization is quite good at 1080p. The video quality just isn't great. There's too much noise and the dynamic range is average at best. Audio quality luckily is okay though. So this is Mr. Chubbs, and this is a video captured on the Nokia 7.2. So, should you buy the Nokia 7.2 for a bargain price? My honest opinion is no. I don't know what it is exactly, but that final layer of polish usually found on excellent devices just isn't found here. The hardware is let down by the software, and it has nothing to do with the Snapdragon 660. Had the software consistency been good, I would still hesitate recommending it due to the mediocre battery life. If you're deciding between it and a new Nokia, you're better off getting either the 5.3 or the 5.4. Or the best thing that you can possibly do is wait for its successor, which should hopefully be announced soon. Anyways, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.